friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 444. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, as we proceed to give you what you need, it is another Wednesday, y'all. So y'all know who we about to go back to. Mike from that chapter. That chapter Wednesdays, man. Hope you're doing excelente out there today. And I'm glad that you came on back to the channel once again to fuck with the bean. And the title of the video is The Disturbing Case of Nicole Lovell. Or is it Lovell? Tomato. But I don't know, y'all. As far as the title, I really ain't got too much to say. We just already know it's gonna be another great but / crazy video from Mike. He do an excellent job, and I'm just ready to get into it. But before we get into it, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need, and get what you need, please. Another That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, a mother was up early one morning, getting ready for work, you know, and as she was about to head out the door to start her day, she decided to check on her 13-year-old daughter to see if her daughter was up and ready for school before she went. But when she went to check on her daughter, the door was locked. This immediately to the mother was, well, worrying, and so she started trying to bust her way in, because the door was never locked. When she got in, the room was empty and the window was wide open. Little did anyone know that her daughter had been talking online to a Dr. Tombstone, and Dr. Tombstone was not alone. Before we get into this old video, please click that little old subscribe button to see new videos every single week. Now, let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need. And the most shocking thing out of everything that Mike just said was the fact that Dr. Tombstone was not alone. What do you mean by that? Is more than one person involved with this kidnapping, which it seems like? Let's see.
So this old story takes place in Blacksburg, Montgomery County, Virginia. Population a little under 55,000. One of the more notable places near here is Virginia Tech University, which, well, it's pretty famous for something you don't want to be famous for. Overall, though, it's a nice little place in a nice little part of the country. Blacksburg is dominated by Virginia Tech. Essentially, it's a college town and ranked, wait for it, as one of the best college towns for brain gain. Give me some of that brain gain, y'all. If you want to learn a little something about tech, it's off to VT for you. Virginia Tech, I'm awaiting my check. Pretty cool place. But it certainly was not. Right, on the morning of January 27th, 2016, my friends. That was when Tammy Weeks went into her 13-year-old daughter's bedroom to check on her before she left for work, something she did every morning. Typically, a reassuring, sleepy Nicole would be in her bed. However, on this morning, Tammy struggled to open her daughter's door. They didn't have locks on their bedroom doors, so Tammy immediately went into Mama Bear mode and shoved as hard as she could, only to find that Nicole's bedside table that had been pushed up against the door. Nicole's window was also left wide ass open. Her phone and a minion blanket were also missing.
I'm thinking that this is a kidnapping, y'all, but I'm starting to think that Nicole was like compliant, I guess would be the word, or accepting, or she was like agreeing to go with this Dr. Tombstone. I don't think he just came and just snatched her like and just dragged her out the house. It almost seemed like she kind of like ran away, like she was gonna run away with Dr. Tombstone. Which make it even worse, man, because she only 13 years old, y'all. So you know that she can get persuaded by an older guy or older anybody, man or woman, pretty easily. She's still a child. And it seemed like she ran away to go be with Dr. Tombstone. Jesus.
Not only was this incredibly worrisome and a frightening sight for any parent to see, what was even equally as worrying is that Nicole, as an infant, she'd had a liver transplant, so she needed to take medication twice, 2 times a day. Her medication was still in her bedroom.
That's a horrible sign right there. But I want to make myself clear real quick. It's also a possibility now. It is a possibility that Dr. Tombstone, every time I say his name, I always gotta do this. I don't even know why. But it is a possibility now that he staged it. I just keep doing this damn shit now, man. But it's a possibility, y'all, that he staged this whole kidnapping to make it look like she ran away. That's a possibility too. So I'm not ruling that out, y'all. I'm just throwing stuff out there, just throwing it out there. But let's continue.
Nicole Lovell was born May 3rd, 2002 in Radford City, Virginia, to Tammy and David. She was lovingly referred to as Coley by all those who knew her. Nicole's parents were never married, and her father left her mother just weeks before her birth. Nicole was born with a damaged liver and underwent a liver transplant at the tender age of only 10 months. That's why she needed her medication. Anti-rejection drugs she needed to take twice a day. Now, Nicole was a happy, cheerful young girl, but her mother would also say she was bullied in school. The scars visible from her many surgeries, kind of left her open to attack by those real, little shitty kids that we all love to hate. Kids suck. Like many who, struggle with it, with acceptance, though many teens, Nicole, not finding it difficult in the real world with her school friends, not that she had any, she turned to the internet, to make friends there. And friends she did. Specifically, she went onto an app called Kik Messenger app. The Kik Messenger app was known for helping users stay anonymous. No valid email or phone number was required to sign up. They also made a public statement that targeting younger users was one of their business goals. You can probably guess what happened next when you're targeting kids. Other people who also like to target kids kind of dove right in. See, Kik is still used as, a vehicle for a lot of nefarious acts, sex trafficking, people who, like them young, would also be in there. In 2016, one freaking sex offender was caught, and there was like 200 groups of these little sex offender rings operating on Kik. The goods and bads of privacy are like right there on display. One hand, well, hey, nobody wants to be tracked, so that's great. On the other hand, people who maybe should be tracked, like child predators, they can kind of operate with impunity. It's like one of them swords with the 2 edges or something. Anyways.
Yep, a double-edged sword. That's what Kik is, y'all. And this is just a side note about Kik. I was a heavy Kik user. This probably was like over 10 years ago now. I'm talking this had to be like 2013, maybe 14, 15. Back then, Kik was so different just as far as that. It wasn't all these freaking ads, man. It ain't all these ads like it is nowadays. I was using it to try to talk to... No, I was trying to get on a live stream and watch... Because live streaming has became huge on Kik too. You know what I'm saying, man? Lately, which that didn't even exist back in the day what I'm talking about. But I'm really just talking about all the freaking ads that be on there now, y'all. It's freaking ridiculous, man. Anyway, that was just a little side note. Let's go.
The night before she disappeared, Tammy said it was like any other night. Nicole kissed her goodnight, went into her own room. One regret Tammy had, though, was that usually just before she went to sleep, she would knock on Nicole's wall, to let her know that if Nicole wanted to get into bed with her mother, that was okay. That night she didn't. For some reason, she just decided against it, and she kind of regretted ever since.
Dang.
Now Tammy was left with an empty bedroom, an open window, and a 13-year-old girl missing. When she called the police at 7:15 a.m., they immediately went into action. Simply because, a missing child is always horrifying, but also she was in dire need of her medication. Time was a ticking.
Police are searching for a missing girl they say is in danger. 13-year-old Nicole Lovell was last seen at her family's Blacksburg apartment about midnight last night. When her mother went to wake her up this morning, she was gone.
We spoke to Nicole's mother and uncle today. They say their girl, who goes by Coley, has always been happy. They say she loves to sing and to dance and has always wanted to be a contestant on American Idol. Her mom, Tammy Weeks, clutched Nicole's favorite stuffed panda bear as she pleaded with her daughter to come home or that whoever is with her would bring her back safely.
Investigators pursued every lead, and when Nicole's friends mentioned she'd been talking online with an older boy and referred to him as her boyfriend, Nicole's mother was disturbed and shocked. While searching Nicole's room for leads, investigators found a piece of paper taped on the wall in her closet. It was the usernames and passwords, if you can believe it, of all her online accounts.
Wow.
So then, police contacted Kik to release whatever user information of anyone Nicole had been in contact with. And Kik came true, fair play to him. And police noticed the last communication with Nicole before she disappeared was the username Dr_Tombstone. Well, on January 30th, 3 days after Nicole vanished, Dr_Tombstone was brought in for questioning. They were able to trace him via the IP address he used to log into his Kik account. Dr. Tombstone, aka 18-year-old Virginia Tech student, David Eisenhower. David was a freshman at the university taking engineering. He was a tall, lanky kid, a little bit awkward, but he was also star track and field runner on his high school team.
I'm already convinced that he did it, y'all. We can pretty much say that, right? But the thing I'm wondering is, did she leave her home out of her bed, snuck out of the window on her own, on her own consent? Or did he, go and really, abduct her? Anywhere it go, it's still kidnapping. I understand that, but I'm just wondering right now, how exactly did it happen? And Jesus Christ, man, I feel like he killed this girl, man. I don't know yet, but I hate to say it, but I think that's where we going in this story.
We went the distance to tell you about one of the greatest distance runners this state has, and his name is David Eisenhower.
I make my personal goals achievable, or just out of reach of achievable. That way I'm always constantly striving to better myself. If that goal becomes a record, or if that goal is past a record, or records get broken in the process, I consider that a milestone goal, but that's not where I ultimately want to end up.
At the station, now David did admit he'd been talking to Nicole about a month before, and he basically said he'd been talking to someone who's 5 years younger than him. When he's 18 years old. Is that essentially he was bored? He was just just bored. Started randomly chatting to anybody he could. He also said that Nicole at the time told him she was 16, 17.
I'd just like to help. Mid-December, if I remember correctly, I was bored in my dorm room and logged on to a website where you go and you just talk to random strangers. It's an anonymous the website is called Omegle, if I believe correctly. Okay. And then she's like, hey, do you want to use message me on some app called Kik? And I was like, sure, whatever. We're talking, and she's like, yeah, I'm 16 or 17. I do not remember the age she said.
They spoke daily until David admitted they had arranged a meetup on the night of January 26th, interesting date, and he had driven to her place to pick her up. However, when he pulled up, he told police that he saw she was much younger than she had previously stated, so he left immediately, headed back to campus to hang out with a friend. He said he didn't even get out of the car.
I get there, and then I see someone who probably looked like she was 11 years old climb out of a window, and I was like, not for me.
This young lady's never been heard from again. Okay? So it's not going to be possible for us to believe that account.
Okay, thank you. I do not know where she is.
This is utter bullshit. Obviously. So the police...
Hell yeah, it's bullshit, man. He basically just gave the whole story. And he got so close to telling on himself to the ending of the story. It's like, let me try to use the perfect analogy, y'all. It's like a movie that you watching and you know that this, of everything that's leading up, you know that this is how this movie is going to end. And that he got all the way to the point of basically saying, I kidnapped her or whatever. He talked about at the end how she climbed out the window and came to see him. But then he going to turn around and say, I don't know where she at. I left. Who the believe that, bro? Really? You left. She just vanished. So I guess he want to insinuate that somebody else took her. No. We've been watching this movie for an hour and 30 minutes. We know this is the ending. You can't tell us no different, man. He lying.
Police immediately put the bracelets on him, arrested him for the abduction of Nicole Lovell.
I think the police should look more into finding a body and try to interrogate the last person who saw her alive, who clearly left the scene. Oh.
David Eisenhower, stand up and put your hands behind your back. You are under arrest for the abduction of Nicole Lovell.
Officers say that the new developments in the investigation led them to Eisenhower.
With this arrest, investigators are very much in the midst of what is a rapidly developing investigation.
In David's dorm room, police found a piece of paper with Nicole's address on it. They also tracked down his friend from campus that David admitted to going to see after leaving Nicole. This friend was a fellow student named Natalie Keepers. More like Natalie Levers. Who don't tell me what's gonna happen. This girl is batshit, let me tell you. She couldn't even keep her own head straight with all the flip-flopping. You know, call her a fish because she's flip-flopping. Police got permission from Natalie herself to go through her phone. She probably would have wished she hadn't done that. And Natalie admitted, yeah, David had gone to her after being distraught after meeting up with Nicole. However, on her phone, police found, extremely disturbing messages between Natalie and David. These best buddies, the gruesome twosome. Natalie had texted David saying, "I smell like cleaning supplies, and I've been around a lot of blood." There's more, but we get the idea. Wow, I wonder what that could mean.
We know that you have information about this. What do you think they're pulling out of your phone?
She died.
Okay, where is she?
When confronted, Natalie said, "Yeah, you're right. Nicole is dead."
I forgot all about the part that Mike said that the dude went alone in this store. I forgot it was multiple people who did this to this girl. How could two grown-ass adults, man, murder a little young child? Let's go.
How much are you involved?
Please force me to move to help him move her body.
She swore up and down that she wasn't involved in the actual killing and wasn't even there to witness it, but did say that David forced her to move Nicole's body. When speculating about a motive, Natalie said she, thought that David was worried he might have gotten Nicole pregnant. Yikes. Major. Big yikes. This big yikes.
She was worried, like, what if I slept with her? What if she ends up pregnant? He stabbed her. He killed her in the woods. The next day, he told me that he needed help.
This is such bullshit coming from her right now, y'all. And she trying to, the way she talking, like she trying to make somebody feel sorry for her. Mother, I don't care if it's my damn mama who come tell me that she done murdered somebody in the damn woods. I'm sorry, mama. I'm not finna come help you. This is such a crazy hypothetical I'm using anyway. My mama would never do nothing like this. That's why it sounds so crazy. But I'm just saying, if I had to, man, I would tell on my mama. And I most definitely wouldn't help her hide the body or nothing. Come on, man. The way she talking, like she want to bring sympathy onto her. Ain't no sympathy for that. And I believe she more involved than she leading on. Any damn way.
Nicole's body was found on January 31st, down a ditch off Craig Creek Road, which was not too far from the university. She had been stabbed 14 times with a lethal stab to her neck. When confronted, David said he had no part in her murder. He stuck by the story that he left Nicole at her house that night and was with Natalie the rest of the night. No idea how she ended up there. Police, they went balls to the wall with this investigation. They got the surveillance footage, they got the phone records, got the GPS that was in David's car. David was too stupid to even realize his car had a GPS and could be tracked where he had driven that very night, maybe to Craig Creek Road.
2 Virginia Tech students are now in custody in connection to the death of Nicole Lovell. Today, Blacksburg police announced the arrest of Natalie Keepers. The 19-year-old faces 1 felony count of improper disposal of a dead body and 1 misdemeanor count of accessory after the fact. Now, Keeper's arrest comes in addition to the arrest of David Eisenhower.
So when police searched his car, they found not only that GPS, but they found blood. A shovel. Blood on the shovel. Blood in the trunk. Upon looking at the data from the GPS, it showed David at Nicole's place, at the scene of the crime off Craig Creek Road, and at a Walmart. With this information, they got surveillance footage from Walmart. But wouldn't you know it, there was David and Natalie on January 26th, around 4 p.m, buying a shovel, cleaning supplies, wipes, and gloves.
How many videos have we watched where the freaking dumbass murderers, they go to freaking Walmart, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, you know what I'm saying, or any fucking place and be buying shovels and freaking cleaning supplies and all this and that, all these gadgets, not knowing that they dumbass on camera while they in that store shopping for these supplies. Why would you be in this store shopping for this stuff at this specific time when this girl died? At the exact time where she died, dude. It's like they be telling on themselves and now they don't even fucking know it. I'm just saying, y'all, how many videos have we watched of these freaking murderers going to buy they clean up items and not knowing that the whole time you're telling on yourself? Let's go.
So yeah, January 26th. This is all prior to Nicole's disappearance. Not suspicious at all. They were also seen at a fast food joint before the killing. The text messages matched up. It looked as though Natalie and David had hatched this plan together as early as the start of January. They'd gone through various ways to kill Nicole, and had even considered swapping her medication for cyanide pills. David's computer use showed he googled things like, how long does it take to burn a body? And how did Dexter get rid of his bodies?
Based on evidence collected to date, we have determined that Eisenhower and Nicole were acquainted prior to her disappearance. Eisenhower used this relationship to his advantage to abduct and then kill her.
These details have come to light following a 4-day search pursuing hundreds of phoned-in tips and social media leads with ground teams and even aerial drones provided by Virginia Tech. Police say the investigation is far from over.
It is also discovered that David and Nicole had met up once previously to the murder. In text messages, he was texting Nicole, threatening her, basically saying, you know, if she was to tell anybody about their relationship, he would do bad things. When police searched Natalie's dorm room, they found a gym bag. Inside the gym bag was another bag. Inside that bag was the Minions blanket missing from Nicole's bedroom. The events, as told by Natalie, is probably as close as we will ever get to the real truth here, because David has never said anything about what actually happened that night. It's believed that David and Natalie went to Walmart after dinner to buy the supplies. Natalie then says she was dropped off at her dorm while David went to Nicole's. He picked her up around midnight, drove to Craig Creek Road, took her there for what, you know, they would say was a romantic little getaway between an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. My God. Then he murdered her instead. Put her in the trunk of his car, drove them back to the university, met with Natalie, picked her up. Then the pair of them drove back to Craig Creek Road, which doesn't make any sense at all. This is, again, Natalie's version, kind of events. His GPS does not show that, though I'm pretty sure Natalie would have been there the entire time, participating in the actual murder, not just helping cover it up like she says. In the
Exactly, man. She lying too, but she giving probably the closest thing to actually what happened, but she lying too, man. She trying to make it seem like she ain't had nothing to do with it, but yeah, she was in on it from the beginning. I just don't understand how two grown-ass freaking adults sit up there and plot as long as they freaking plotted about this murder. And then it's one thing to plot it, but then you had all this time to change your mind and not go through with it, but they went through with it, my brothers and sisters. Oh my God.
Investigation, police also recovered text messages David sent to an unknown person who's never really been identified, saying the text message reads something along the lines of original plan failed. What the plan was, what the information, who this guy was, nobody really knows. The only information is that he's a Pulaski man. Pulaski is like the next town over from Blacksburg. In Natalie's interrogation with the police, she maintained she did not take part in the actual murder, but only helped dispose and clean up the body and the aftermath. She confided she did not believe that David was going to go through with it. Otherwise, she said she would have stopped it. But she also said that David's involving made her feel special and part of a special little club.
He got out inside of me. It was psychopathic. He loved the fact that we were working together, and it made me feel loved, and it made me feel special. He made me feel like I was being a part of some like secret club that like only me and him were a part of, and it was the best club in the world.
I guess we have completely different ideas of what special clubs would try. Try the chess club next time. I mean, come on. Anywho, she also said David brought out, this dark and twisted side to her, the psychotic side of her. I don't think she needs any help with that. Natalie Keepers would later call herself a sociopath in training, though, let's be honest here, Natalie, you're being kind of modest here. Both were charged and awaiting their own trials.
Man, y'all, this is the first time in my life, I'm being serious, man. Well, this is actually like scaring me. Like, this is the first time just watching these people in this video where it's hitting me, like the reality is seriously hitting me, y'all. That there are some people in this world that really like to kill people. Like, they really like enjoy that. Like that, like I know that is the reality anyway. We'll watch what number we on, 444. But you know what I'm saying? I know this, y'all. I'm a grown ass man. I've been living for 33 years, but this the first time where it kind of make me scared. Like, that is seriously reality. There are people out here that really enjoy and want to kill people. I don't know, man. Am I having a coming to stack the bean moment or something? It's just like, whoa. It just really hit me like people really like to do this. And like when she was talking about being all psychotic and all that, and it's the best feeling in the world. Like, it's really the best feeling in the fucking world to her. Crazy.
Natalie, poor girl, she complained at her own bail hearing that the food in the jail, it wasn't, she couldn't handle it because she had celiac disease. She couldn't handle the gluten. Nah, some people go through a real hard time. What we know about Natalie is, again, she's not someone, you'd likely suspect in such a violent crime. She was born into a very straight-laced Christian family with twin brothers, her mother and her father. Her mother an X-ray technician, her father an aerospace engineer with NASA. Natalie Keepers, like David Eisenhower, a native of Maryland. In fact, they only grew up 13 miles from each other. Natalie in Laurel, David in Columbia. That's likely how they became friends in Virginia Tech. She was in the top 15% of her class, an engineering student at Virginia Tech with aspirations to follow in her father's footsteps, who, again, worked at NASA. She performed in a number of musical theater plays at her high school, part of the editorial team as well, but she also had a history of mental health issues and was on a daily dosage of Prozac. Her trouble with mental health started as early as 8th grade with bullying, she would say. Then she started to self-harm. While in prison, she was examined by multiple experts. She was actually diagnosed with 6 different mental disorders. Going for gold: depersonalization, derealization disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, borderline personality disorder, dependent and schizotypal disorder, panic disorder, persistent depressive disorder. David, on the other hand, straight-laced. Never would have suspected it. Good student, star athlete, as you can see in the interview. Turns out, though, he was a real weirdo. Weird to the O. Classmates reported, he all-star track and field athlete, straight-A student. One person classified him as a bit cocky.
I will personally not stop until I reach my peak performance, which could be anywhere.
Boo, you suck! The entire reasoning behind the murder is still vague at best. The prosecution would say, right, that David's motive was the exposure of his relationship with Nicole. Whether he knew she was of age before or after, hey, listen, nobody really knows. Regardless, David, dude, you suck so much. She's clearly a child, and I think he might just be a, wait for it, child predator.
Yep.
But he was worried their relationship might be exposed and that he was worried she may be pregnant, which she was not at the time of her death. Natalie's reasoning and why she involved herself in this and why she wanted to be involved in this because it was something they'd been planning for about a month. Well, Natalie Keepers simply had an urge to kill. Of course,
That's what I'm saying, man, y'all. Like, I don't know why it just hit me in this video. Like, it's some people out here that really just want to kill people, and they get excited by the thought of it. They didn't have to carry out this plan, but they still did it, man. Jesus.
Both simply blamed the other, saying that I've been manipulated again, lads. On day 4 of his trial, David changed his plea from not guilty to no contest. I guess he figured he was well and truly up shit creek with all they had in him. He wouldn't have an arse in his trousers after the prosecution finished their case, so he decided to tap out. I could make a prison joke there, but I probably shouldn't.
When he returned, we saw him visibly emotional for the first time in the case. He stared down to the floor, not making eye contact with anyone for several minutes.
That means he wouldn't admit anything but couldn't argue the evidence against him. That also means he waived his right to appeal.
I am sorry for the pain that my actions have caused Nicole Lovell and her family. It is my deepest regret, and I'm aware my actions have serious consequences. Nothing can ever undo what has been done, and for that, I am deeply, sincerely, and forever sorry.
Family members of Nicole Lovell spoke about how hard her loss has been for them. Her mother, Tammy Weeks Dowdy, says everything she sees reminds her of her daughter.
I go to bed at night hoping everything was a nightmare.
Outside the courthouse, she told 10 News that today did not give her closure.
I'm just numb right now. It's not real.
Nicole's father, David, says he now has PTSD and struggles with depression.
Just a horrible crime on her. It's a shame, and there's nothing that can happen in this courtroom that will ever fix it.
Experts for the defense also said David was on the spectrum, which allowed him to be manipulated and coerced more easily by Natalie Keepers.
Mental health professionals testified that Natalie Keepers, who awaits a trial for being an accessory in this case, orchestrated the crimes, and Eisenhower would not have wanted to kill Lovell without her influence.
I think she was the mastermind. I think she is the driver of the process. I think she has found somebody that she can manipulate.
The sentencing for Eisenhower was carried out on June 2018, where he was sentenced to 50 years in prison, plus another 25 to be served on probation for first-degree murder, abduction, and concealing a dead body.
Judge, her actions in this case show that her release constitutes a danger to the public. And we would submit that she has earned her 45-year sentence, Judge.
Natalie's trial was shortly after, where she was found guilty and sentenced to 40 years for accessory before and after the fact and concealing a body. After 40 years, she'd be placed on a 10-year probation.
I'm crying for your family every day. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have stopped. I never intended for this to happen.
Sit your ass down with them crocodile ass tears.
What a drama queen. In December 2020, Natalie Keepers' appeal for a retrial was denied. Thankfully. Since Nicole's murder, her family's worked hard to help raise awareness to parents, about social media and internet use for kids and teens alike. Gone, sort of, are like the days of, kids being snatched off playgrounds. Now it's like internet kind of stuff, shenanigans. No good people on there. I always say that. Nobody on the internet is any good. All except me. I'm alright. Yeah, sort of. Thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Hope you enjoyed this whole video, and the next video will be up in a couple of days, so please give it a go when that's out. But you know what, until the next one, please take care of each other and yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.
It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike, y'all. Man, it's like Mike becoming one of those YouTubers, like I'm really starting to feel like, dude, like I'm starting to feel a connection with him. You know what I'm saying, man? You know how you got those favorite YouTubers where it's like, dude, you F with them so hard, you bang with them so hard, man. And Mike is one of them, y'all, because that was another great story. It was a horrible story, though, because rest in peace to Nicole, man, Nicole Lovell. Rest in peace to her. And I'm pretty sure that she didn't actually get kidnapped. You know what I'm saying? Well, she got kidnapped. That's not what I'm saying. She left from out of her bedroom and snuck out on her own. You know what I'm saying? Then it went south when she got with that lunatic. And I don't even really care if the damn other girl was there doing the murder. I feel like she still should be charged for it too. I feel like those 40 years was a great sentence for her ass too, man. Point blank period. Cause there's a lot of different ways that they saying about well, her side of the story is that he forced her to do it and all this, and then she got all these different mental health issues and all that. At the end of the day, I don't care nothing about that. The bottom line is y'all two conspired. I'm talking about came up with the whole plan and everything. It was both of y'all to murder this child, and y'all carried that plan out. So guess what? Now you gotta suffer the consequences. And that's all I care about, y'all. Hey man, if you're dealing with mental health issues, cause yes, mental health issues is real out here. I understand it, but it don't excuse you for committing a crime of taking somebody's life. It don't, man. It do not. You need to go to prison for that. And just like I was harping on for a little minute, y'all, and I'm serious, man. This was like one of those videos where I had a coming to stack the beam moment. Like, man, it's really people out here that like to do this. Like, this is what they get off from. This is their high. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about murdering people and then finally actually doing it one day. Like, that is what they really like, and it rung so loud to me when we were watching this video from Mike. I don't know why. Like I said, we'll watch plenty. That's all we watch over here is these type of stories. But this was just one of the ones where I just had that moment like, wow. And it kind of got like was scary to me, like, because these people exist everywhere. They all over. They are people that we would think are regular people. People we see in the grocery store, on the boulevard, driving, the car in front of you, the car behind you. Might be somebody who like to kill people. Like, it's just a crazy thought, y'all. Let me shut my ass up, man. Because we have been here long enough, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go now, man. But before y'all leave, my brothers and sisters, please, 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 please hit that like button, comment, subscribe if you ain't did that yet. And come on back tomorrow, because we got another crazy video to get into. But until then, my friends, remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.